1 year after the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade, the state of Illinois is taking new actions to ensure better access to reproductive health care. State agencies and hospitals are teaming up to create a hospital navigation program. The state will roll out a reproductive health hotline by the end of this fiscal year. $5 million in grant money will go to support providers that are experiencing increased demand. Today, Governor J.B. Pritzker also announced a reimbursement program for state workers who live outside of Illinois.
It's a travel reimbursement program designed to ensure access to vital reproductive health care for approximately 1,600 female state employees and their dependents who currently reside just across the border in abortion-hostile states. We want them to have access to health care that they deserve.
Just last week, Pritzker signed a law targeting crisis pregnancy centers for what he calls misinformation. They can face new fines if they lie or deceive women seeking abortions.